Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel and today we are going to start October 4th week complete current affairs. हमने already complete कर दिए हैं first, second and third week के complete current affairs. I'll also upload the combined PDF for October on my Telegram channel. If you have not joined our Telegram channel, please join our Telegram channel with the link given in the description below. Also for more PDFs and updates and also for other videos, please subscribe our channel and watch in the playlist. We have also started daily PIB analysis, so please go and watch that too. Please also watch schemes lectures जहाँ पर हमने ministry wise schemes को cover किया है. Now let us start with October 4th week complete current affairs. So first MCQ is, under the new agreements, what is India's goal for electricity import from Nepal over the next decade, and which of the following correctly represents the first proposed cross-border transmission line? So let me just take you to the news and then I'll come back to MCQ. So agreement has been signed between Power Grid Corporation of India, that is Power Grid, and Nepal Electricity Authority, right? So एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ है किसके बीच में? पावर ग्रिड के बीच में, फ्रॉम इंडिया, पावर ग्रिड एंड नेपाल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी अथॉरिटी, राइट. नाउ इट वॉज विटनेस्ड बाय मनोहर लाल, हु इज यूनियन मिनिस्टर ऑफ पावर, एंड कुलमन घिसिंग, हु इज मिनिस्टर ऑफ एनर्जी, वाटर रिसोर्सेज एंड इरीगेशन ऑफ नेपाल. नाउ द एम क्या है इस एग्रीमेंट का? द एम इज टू इन्हांस इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ट्रेड, बूस्ट रीजनल एनर्जी कॉपरेशन एंड स्ट्रेंथन ग्रिड कनेक्टिविटी बिटवीन इंडिया एंड नेपाल. व्हाट इज द टारगेट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. जो इंडिया का इम्पोर्ट टारगेट है दैट इज 10,000 मेगावाट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फ्रॉम नेपाल ओवर नेक्स्ट डेकेड, राइट. तो ये एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ है, एक जॉइंट वेंचर साइन हुआ है बिटवीन इंडिया एंड नेपाल. सो देयर वुड बी टू ट्रांसमिशन प्रोजेक्ट्स. one is from Nepal to India from the place Inaruva, from I am sorry for the wrong pronunciation if I am doing it, to New Purnia, India. And second one is Lamki, Nepal to Bareilly in India. So these two transmission projects will take place. Completion target is 2030. The completion target aim is 2030. The impact that it would bring is it would enhance electricity trade and regional integration. It will also strengthen grid resilience, promote sustainable growth and clean energy cooperation. Now if we go back to our MCQs, so that states, first is, under the new agreement, what is India's goal for electricity import from Nepal over next decade. तो इंडिया का गोल कितना है इस एग्रीमेंट के तहत कि इंडिया कितना इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इम्पोर्ट करेगा फ्रॉम नेपाल. सो इट इज़ 10,000 मेगावाट. नाउ द करेक्ट ट्रांसमिशन लाइन दैट इज मैच्ड इज बी, दैट इज इनारुवा टू न्यू पूर्णिया, right, and it is 400 kilowatt double circuit line. So B is the right answer. Now next is, who launched Koila Shakti dashboard and clamp portal. So these two portals I'll talk to you about, इनके full form की बात करेंगे, but who launched these portals? So it was launched by G Kishan Reddy. Now you should know also, you should be aware about some ministers, some important ministers. तो यहाँ पर जैसे ministries नहीं आई है. In option I have written the name of ministers, and maybe if you know that if this is related to coal, koila is coal in Hindi and coal in English, right? So you should also know that who is minister of coal now. So G Kishan Reddy is the right answer. So the Koila Shakti dashboard has been developed by which organization? So it was developed by National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation. So C is the right answer. Koila Shakti developed by NICDC, right. Now there are two initiatives that have taken place. One is with the name Koila Shakti, second is with the name Clamp Portal. Now Koila Shakti stands for Smart Coal Analytics Dashboard. It is developed by NICDC, that we have just seen that Koila Shakti has been developed by NICDC under Ministry of Coal, where real-time monitoring of coal production, transport and consumption would take place. Now second portal is Clamp Portal. अब इस पोर्टल का क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव है? The Clamp Portal stands for Coal Land Acquisition, Management and Payment. It is developed by Ministry of Coal itself, और इसका की ऑब्जेक्टिव है Digitize Land Acquisition, Compensation and R&R for coal projects. यानी कि रियल टाइम ट्रैकिंग करना, पेमेंट्स का ध्यान रखना, लैंड एक्विजिशन को डिजिटाइज करना एंड कॉम्पनसेशन का ध्यान रखना, दैट ऑल वर्क इज ऑफ क्लैम्प पोर्टल। यानी यहाँ दो पोर्टल्स हैं, कोयला पोर्टल and clamp portal. One is developed by NICDC, one is developed by Ministry of Coal. Both comes under Ministry of Coal and objective is different. So you have to remember what is the objective of both of the following. Now next question is, when was National Seeds Corporation established and what is the category of National Seeds Corporation as a PSU? So a very important question. अगर मैं NABARD point of view से आपको बताऊँ तो it's an important question from NABARD point of view. When was National Seed Corporation established? So it was established in 1963. You have to remember this, that this all we studied in our static lectures too. If you have not watched, please watch our static lectures of ARD 2, and also if you have watched, please revise those lectures so that it's fresh and you are aware of all those things. So National Seed Corporation was established in the year 1963. Now what is a category of National Seeds Corporation as a PSU? So as a PSU, National Seeds Corporation को मिनी रत्न कैटेगरी 1 में रखा गया है. So B is the right answer. Schedule B, मिनी रत्न कैटेगरी 1. Now next is NTPC Green Energy Limited has been upgraded to which schedule category of CPSEs by the Government of India? यानी NTPC Green Energy Limited जिसका मतलब है NGEL. So you have to know the full form of NGEL, that stands for NTPC Green Energy Limited. Now this has been upgraded to schedule A. So you have to remember this, that NGEL has been upgraded to schedule A category by Government of India. There are 4 categories, A, B, C and D. So it's been upgraded from category B to category A. Now next is, what is the name of large scale tri-services military exercise commenced by India in October 2025? So large scale tri-services military exercise जो हुई है उसका नाम है X Trishul. So you have to remember this, that Trishul exercise has been conducted and it is a tri-service military exercise. What is the meaning of tri-service military exercise? It's conducted or it invites coordination among Indian Army, Navy and Air Force. So tri-service exercise हुई है जिसका नाम है Trishul, X Trishul, exercise Trishul, मतलब X Trishul मतलब exercise Trishul. So you have to remember this, that Trishul exercise has been taken place and it's a tri services military exercise that was commenced by India. Now next question is that what is the total corpus of Anusandhan National Research Fund? Again an important question, that ANRF फंड जो है, जो कि हम बोलते हैं दैट इज अनुसंधान नेशनल रिसर्च फंड. तो इसका टोटल कॉर्पस इज 1 लाख करोड़ रुपीस एंड दिस वाज लॉन्च्ड बाय पीयूष गोयल. नाउ पीयूष गोयल इज मिनिस्टर ऑफ कॉमर्स, राइट. तो यानी ये जो फंड है वो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स के अंदर आता है. यू ऑल्सो हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस, that Anusandhan National Research Fund was launched by Piyush Goyal, who is Minister of Commerce, and the total corpus was 1 lakh crore rupees. Why I framed this question on ministers? Because we have seen in RBI exam there was one question on minister also, Piyush Goyal only. So you have to be aware about ministers too. Now, which organization signed an MOU to strengthen cooperation in telecom policy, research and capacity building? So, किन organizations ने MOU sign किया है so that cooperations can be strengthened in telecom policy, research and capacity building? So, for telecom, जो organizations ने MOU sign किया है, that is NCA and IIM Calcutta. So you have to remember NCA, that comes under Department of Telecommunication, and IIM Calcutta, इन दोनों ने MOU साइन किया है so that telecom policy can be strengthened. Now next is, what does the acronym SMART Crop stands for? तो SMART Crop का acronym क्या है? SMART Crop stands for Sustainable Monitoring and Real Time Tracking for Crop Resilience and Optimal Practices. तो आपको इसके एक्रोनिम से या फुल फॉर्म से आपको इसका मीनिंग वेल डिफाइंड समझ में आ रहा होगा. दैट स्मार्ट क्रॉप स्टैंड्स फॉर सस्टेनेबल मॉनिटरिंग, यानी हमें मॉनिटर करना है, रियल टाइम ट्रैक करना है. किसको ट्रैक करना है और क्यों ट्रैक करना है? क्रॉप रेसिलियंस के लिए, ताकि हम क्रॉप्स को एफिशिएंट बना सकें, हम प्रॉपर क्रॉपिंग कर सकें और ऑप्टिमल प्रैक्टिसेस को अडॉप्ट कर सकें. दैट इज स्मार्ट क्रॉप. Now, if we talk about that, which organization launched Smart Crop project in collaboration with ICRISAT and others? तो सॉरी किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने इस प्रोजेक्ट को लॉन्च किया है? इन कोलैबोरेशन विद इक्रीसेट. So ICRISAT plus SBI Foundation has launched this project with the name Smart Crop. So you have to remember this, that Smart Crop launched by SBI Foundation and ICRISAT. Which crops are the main focus of the Smart Crop project? So crops that are main focus of this project are chickpea and pigeon pea. So C is the right answer. Next is WaveX. WaveX is a startup accelerator launched under which initiative? So WaveX is a startup accelerator that was launched under WAVES initiative. WAVES is World Audio Video Entertainment Summit. तो World Audio Video Entertainment Summit के अंदर WaveX was launched, and I have also told you about this news in our previous lectures, previous month's current affairs. So you are well aware of that WaveX is under WAVES. Now, WaveX has signed an MOU with which organization to boost audio video, I think it's gaming, comics and extended reality startup ecosystem. So WaveX plus T-Hub ने MOU साइन किया है so that audio video gaming and extended reality startup ecosystem can be boosted up, right? So you have to remember that WaveX is launched under initiative of WAVES. Then WaveX plus T-Hub has signed an MOU so that audio, video, gaming, comics and this all extended reality startups ecosystem can be boosted up. Next is that in financial year 2024-25, Coal India has contributed significantly to India, achieving how much of coal production? So it has contributed significantly, or coal production has crossed 1 billion tons. So it's very important that Coal India has contributed significantly and coal production has surpassed 1 billion tons of production. Then, who heads the panel set up by Government of India to review road TEP and ROS-CGC TL rates? Now, what are these rates? I'll explain you. But first, please see the answer, that this panel has been set up by Neeraj Kumar Gupta. No, this panel has been headed by Neeraj Kumar Gupta. Now, what are these two schemes and इसके लिए क्यों एक पैनल सेटअप किया गया है जो कि नीरज कुमार गुप्ता जो है वो हेड कर रहे हैं? व्हाट वाज द नीड टू हेड दिस पैनल? व्हाट वाज द नीड ऑफ मेकिंग दिस पैनल? सो देयर आर टू स्कीम्स. One is road TEP, second is ROSCTL. So it was road TEP was launched in the year 2021 under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Now this scheme already replaced MEIS scheme. Objective was कि हम न्यूट्रलाइज करेंगे डोमेस्टिक टैक्सेस को ऑन एक्सपोर्ट्स टू बूस्ट कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस, एंड इट इज़ वैलिड टिल 2026. देन ROSCTL was launched in the year 2019 अंडर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ टेक्सटाइल्स, एंड इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव था कि रिबेट कैसे होता है ऑन स्टेट एंड सेंट्रल टैक्सेस फॉर अपैरल या एक्सपोर्ट सेक्टर्स, और ये भी इसकी भी वैलिडिटी है टिल 31 मार्च ऑफ 2026. देयरफॉर देयर इज़ अ नीड कि रिव्यू किया जाए इन रेट्स को, बिकॉज द validity date is soon approaching, right? So इसको रिव्यू करने के लिए एक पैनल सेटअप किया गया है अंडर नीरज कुमार गुप्ता. Now, Union Cabinet has approved term of reference for which Central Pay Commission in 2025? Union Cabinet has approved term of reference for 8th Central Pay Commission, and if I ask you that who has been appointed as chairperson of this commission, so chairperson is appointed, that is Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, right? So Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai has been appointed as chairperson of 8th Central Pay Commission. Now, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has recently signed an MOU with which Russian company to produce SJ-100 aircraft in India? So Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has signed MOU with Russian company that is with the name PJSC United Aircrafts Corporation. And why the MOU has been signed? It's been signed to produce SJ-100 aircrafts in India. So you also have to remember this MOU has been signed with Russia. So HAL has signed MOU with Russia. Now, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has approved procurement of pulses and oilseeds worth how much rupees for Kharif 2025-26? So, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has approved procurement of 15,095 crore rupees, so that this much crore rupees procurement of pulses and oilseeds will take place Under PM Asha, which agencies will procure pulses and oil seeds? So कौन सी agency procure करेंगी pulses and oil seeds? So that is NAFED and NCCF. So NAFED and NCCF will procure pulses and oil seeds. Next is Gyan Bharatam mission. So Gyan Bharatam mission is implemented by which ministry? This I have taught you when I taught you budget. So Gyan Bharatam mission is implemented by Ministry of Culture, and it aims to conserve and digitize manuscripts. Right? तो ये पूछ रहा है कि which heritage is it talking about to conserve and digitize? So Gyan Bharatam mission is talking about to digitize manuscripts. Now, basic information that it comes under Ministry of Culture. Union Minister is Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. Purpose is to conserve and digitize India's manuscript heritage. You also have to remember the budget allocation. So, this year budget allocation is 60 crore rupees. The Maha MedTech mission was jointly launched by which three entities? So the Maha MedTech mission is jointly launched by Anusandhan Research Foundation, that is ANRF, then ICMR, and then Gates Foundation. Right? So ANRF, then ICMR and Gates Foundation, इन तीनों ने मिलकर लॉन्च किया है महा मेडटेक मिशन. What is the total outlay of this mission? The total outlay of this mission is 750 crore rupees. What is the aim and objective? What is this mission? Let us just discuss that. The name is Maha MedTech. Maha stands for Mission for Advancement in High Impact Areas Medical Technology, that is MedTech. Now it was launched by ANRF, then ICMR and Gates Foundation. Duration is 5 years. Outlay is 750 crore rupees. What is the aim of this mission? The aim is to boost medtech innovation, reduce dependence on costly imports, and ensure affordable and high quality healthcare solutions in India. Right? So you have to remember all this. Now, next question is, Ramco Systems has signed MOU with which company to develop India's electric air taxi system? तो इंडिया डेवलप कर रहा है इलेक्ट्रिक एयर टैक्सी सिस्टम. नाउ फॉर एयर टैक्सी सिस्टम, रैमको सिस्टम्स ने एमओयू साइन किया है विद ई प्लेन कंपनी. राइट? सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर विद ई प्लेन, दैट इज यूबी फ्लाइट टेक्नोलॉजीज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड. ई प्लेन कंपनी के साथ एमओयू हैज बीन साइंड बाय रैमको सिस्टम्स. नाउ द ई प्लेन कंपनी इज इंक्यूबेटेड एट IIT Madras. Next is that which ministry recognized ISC Bengaluru and CMET Hyderabad as new centers of excellence? So Ministry of Mines has recognized ISC Bengaluru and CMET Hyderabad as new center of excellence. Right? So now under which mission it was recognized? So the mission name is National Critical Mineral Mission. So B is the right answer. What is the new toll-free helpline number launched by Ministry of Women and Child Development? So Ministry of Women and Child Development ने new toll-free helpline number launch किया है, that is 1515. That will provide support for what? That will provide support for two major schemes. The next question asks us this only, that the new helpline 1515 प्रोवाइड सपोर्ट फॉर विच टू मेजर स्कीम्स? कौन सी दो मेजर स्कीम्स को सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करेगा ये नया हेल्पलाइन? सो दैट इज पोषण अभियान एंड प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना, दैट इज PMMVY. सो प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना एंड पोषण अभियान को सपोर्ट करेगा दिस 1515 टोल फ्री नंबर. Now some appointments there were, so let us just discuss some appointments क्योंकि हमने हर वीक के appointments discuss की है. So appointment first was of Paul Biya. Now this person is elected as president of Cameroon and it is his 8th consecutive term, world's longest serving and oldest president, that is of 92 years of age. So Paul Biya Cameroon के president elect हुए हैं. Then Dr. Patrick Hermini, 6th President of Seychelles. Then Jane Fraser, Chair of Board of Directors of Citigroup. Then C.S. Ranjan, Part-time Chairman of Kotak Mahindra Bank. Now some sports news and then we will see some MCQs too. So first is International Master title in chess. So Namitbir Singh Walia from Punjab, he has achieved this international master title at 3rd NMAC International Masters Tournament that was conducted in France, and he is Punjab's 2nd international master after Dushyant Sharma. The title was awarded by FIDE. So Namitbir Singh Walia. Then Mexican Grand Prix was won by Lando Norris from UK. देन साउथ एशियन एथलेटिक्स चैम्पियनशिप का 4th एडिशन हुआ है एंड इंडिया टॉप्ड द मेडल टैली. वील डिस्कस दिस इन डिटेल अभी आगे की स्लाइड्स में इन द फॉर्म ऑफ MCQs. देन कोगनी वीरा इंटरनेशनल पोलो कप हैपेंड एंड टीम इंडिया इज अ विनर. And Team India was led by Savai Padmanabh Singh. You have to remember this. Venue was Jaipur Polo Ground of New Delhi, and India has beat Argentina, right? Then BWF World Junior Championships were conducted in Guwahati, Assam. India hosted for second time after 2008, and India won first ever bronze in Suhandinata Cup, that is mixed team event. Now if I ask you that who won Mexican Grand Prix, so Mexican Grand Prix is won by Lando Norris from UK. Then if we talk about 4th South Asian Athletics Championship, because why we are talking about, because India topped the medal tallies, right? India topped the tally, so that is why we are concerned about this particular championship, that is South Asian Athletics Championship that was held in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Now India topped this tally and कितने medals India ने जीते? India won 58 medals. 20 were gold, 20 were silver and 18 were bronze medals. Team India won Cognivira International Polo Cup defeating which country? So defeated Argentina. एंड कौन था इंडिया टीम को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए? इट वॉज सवाई पद्मनाभ सिंह एंड द वेन्यू वॉज जयपुर पोलो ग्राउंड ऑफ न्यू दिल्ली. नाउ द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज विच स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैज अप्रूव्ड BMAN, that is Building and Management of Aviation Assets and Network Scheme. So Building and Management of Aviation Assets and Network Scheme is approved by Odisha. Now this particular scheme vision है aviation for all, so that Odisha को एक aviation hub बनाया जा सके in Eastern India. So for that BMAN scheme is approved by Odisha, जो aviation assets पे focus कर रहा है. Now, which organization signed an MOU with IIT Hyderabad for next generation telecom research and standardization? Which organization signed an MOU with IIT Hyderabad for next generation telecom research and standardization? So that is TEC, that stands for Telecommunication Engineering Center. Now, these are some awards, and first we will see these list and then we'll move on to our MCQs. So Donald Trump received the award, that is Grand Order of Mugungawa, that is South Korea's highest civilian honor. Why this is important? Because he has become first US president to receive this honor, and also he was presented with replica of Silla dynasty gold crown. That's a separate different thing, but what is important is that he has become first US president to receive this honor, that is Grand Order of Mugungawa, and this is South Korea's highest civilian honor. Then Sanjeev Surendra Kapoor. Sanjeev Kapoor has won Top Agri-Food Pioneers Award, and it was given by World Food Prize Foundation during Norman Borlaug International Dialogue that happened in USA, and he was recognized for promoting healthy, sustainable and local foods. We have all seen videos of Sanjeev Kapoor, so you can remember कि Sanjeev Kapoor को World Food Prize ने दिया है Top Agri-Food Pioneers Award. Now, who has become first US president to receive South Korea's highest civilian honor, that is Grand Order of Mugungawa, so that is Donald Trump. And Chef and Padma Shri awardee Sanjeev Kapoor was honored as one of the top agri-food pioneers, and this was recognized by World Food Prize Foundation, so WFPF is the right answer. Then, which country has recently announced the successful test of its nuclear-powered unmanned underwater vehicle named Poseidon? Right. So Poseidon नाम से Russia has announced its test of its nuclear-powered unmanned underwater vehicle, जिसका नाम उन्होंने रखा है Poseidon, यानी कि रशिया ने टेस्ट कर लिया है nuclear-powered unmanned underwater vehicle. Then Cochin Shipyard Limited has delivered which vessel to Indian Navy? तो अभी recently INS माहे डिलीवर किया है Cochin Shipyard ने to Indian Navy, so it is very important, INS माहे. Where was 47th Asian Summit held? What was the theme of this summit? Now Asian Summit is very important for us to study. Let me just take you to the news first and then we'll come back to our MCQs. So 47th Asian Summit has happened and that took place in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. You also have to remember that it was the 47th summit that took place and the venue was Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Host country is Malaysia. Venue was Kuala Lumpur Convention Center of Malaysia. What was the theme of this summit? The theme was inclusivity and sustainability. India की तरफ से S Jaishankar represented our country. There were 10 Asian members and Timur Leste has joined as 11th member of Asian. Right, so this is very very important क्योंकि अभी आसियान और एशियन वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू से दैट आसियान में 10 there were 10 members, right? Abhi 11 members are there and 11th member is joined, that is Timur Leste. India is not one of the member. Please remember, India is not here. It's a group of ASEAN member countries and that includes Indonesia, Malaysia, etc. Key focus areas are community building, external relations, etc. There were many summits that happened. इसके साथ साथ क्या होता है, alongside this summit there were many summits that took place, such as ASEAN plus 1, such as ASEAN plus 3, such as ASEAN UN, ASEAN in New Zealand commemorative, right? तो इसके साथ साथ बहुत सारी और मीटिंग्स होती है, such as ASEAN India meeting also took place. Now ASEAN India summit also happened and the next host, that is 48th summit का जो host है, that is Philippines. Now ASEAN India summit also happened and it was 22nd ASEAN Indian summit that happened. तो यहाँ पर हमने क्या किया है, we have declared 2026 as ASEAN India Year of Maritime Cooperation. So it is very important कि हमने declare कर दिया है 2026 as ASEAN India Year of Maritime Cooperation. So please remember this. It is aligned with our Act East policy and Sagar vision. Right, now let me just take you back to MCQs. कहाँ पर ये summit हुए? It's happened in Kuala Lumpur. Theme is inclusivity and sustainability. Timur Leste is admitted as new member, 11th member. Then ASEAN India Year of Maritime Cooperation is 2026. So all of this thing you have to remember. Now, where was 19th mid-term ministerial meeting of NAM held in 2025 and who led Indian delegation? So let me also take you to this news and we'll come back to our MCQs. So 19th mid-term ministerial meeting of NAM has also happened और ये हुए युगांडा में, Kampala, Uganda में this meeting has happened. The theme is deepening cooperation for a shared global affluence. Right? Please remember the theme. The theme was deepening cooperation for a shared global affluence. Now, the Indian delegation was led by Kirti Vardhan Singh, who is Minister of State for External Affairs and Environment, Forest and Climate Change. If we talk about NAM, NAM was established in 1961 in Belgrade, Yugoslavia. Founding leaders were Jawaharlal Nehru from India, then Joseph Broz Tito from Yugoslavia, then Abdel Nasser from Egypt, Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana and Sukarno from Indonesia. Now there are 120 developing countries that are part of NAM and the purpose is कि हम political independence को promote करें, non-alignment को कोल्ड वॉर के टाइम पे जो हुआ था उसको प्रमोट करें और कॉपरेशन बनाए रखें अमंग ग्लोबल साउथ नेशंस. सो इट वाज बिकॉज ऑफ कोल्ड वॉर ओनली दैट NAM was formed, that is non-aligned movement, right? So it took place, it was established in 1961 in Belgrade and these were founding members. Please remember, अगर कभी कोई इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन या पॉलिटी से क्वेश्चन आता है सो इट मे कम की रिसेंट इवेंट से, सो दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट देयरफॉर दैट वाइज. नाउ the 19th meeting has happened in Kampala, Uganda. Indian delegation was led by Kirti Vardhan Singh. The theme is deepening cooperation of a shared global affluence and NAM was established in 1961 in Belgrade. Next is that which organization has adopted first ever global soil security law framework. So first ever Global Soil Security Law Framework is adopted by IUCN. And where was IUCN World Conservation Congress held? So it was held in Abu Dhabi. Let me just take you to this news and let me just explain you what is there. सो IUCN की वर्ल्ड कंजर्वेशन कांग्रेस हैज हैपेंड इन अबू धाबी UAE और वहाँ पर फर्स्ट एवर ग्लोबल सॉइल सिक्योरिटी लॉ फ्रेमवर्क इज अडॉप्टेड बाय IUCN. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस फ्रेमवर्क अबाउट? ये फ्रेमवर्क है रिकॉग्नाइजिंग सॉइल सिक्योरिटी एज सेंट्रल टू फूड सिस्टम, वाटर सप्लाई, बायोडाइवर्सिटी कंजर्वेशन एंड क्लाइमेट रेजिलियंस. यू ऑल मस्ट हैव हर्ड अबाउट सेफ सॉइल, जो एक मूवमेंट चलाया हुआ है बाय सदगुरु जी. तो उनके मूवमेंट ने भी इसको को स्पॉन्सर किया है. को स्पॉन्सर्स आर सेफ सॉइल, ईशा आउटरीच, then Global Center for Environmental Legal Studies of USA and Aurora, an Australian soil security think tank. That is why it is important for us to read and understand. So IUCN ने लॉन्च किया, IUCN ने रिकॉग्नाइज किया है सॉइल सिक्योरिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस दैट IUCN हैज रिकॉग्नाइज दैट सॉइल सिक्योरिटी इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट इज सेंट्रल टू फूड सिस्टम and the event was IUCN World Conservation Congress that happened in Abu Dhabi. So the answer is here I've given you. Okay, so now next question is that who launched AI powered encyclopedia, that is Grokipedia. Now who else than Elon Musk can launch AI powered encyclopedia? I'm just telling you this so that you can remember who have launched this, that AI powered encyclopedia that is with the name Grokipedia is launched by Elon Musk, right? So please remember this. Now Grokipedia has been developed by which company? So it's developed by XAI company. So you also have to remember this, that XAI company of Elon Musk has launched this encyclopedia with the name Grokipedia. Right. Now UN Convention Against Cybercrime 2025, UN Convention Against Cybercrime 2025 was held in which country? So it was held in Vietnam. Okay, so this is the news that UN Convention Against Cybercrime 2025 event was held and it was held in Vietnam. So just remember that only. Now who became the first Asian chair of IUCN Species Survival Commission in 2025? अगेन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. एंड जब भी कुछ चीज़ फर्स्ट होती है ऑटोमेटिकली बिकम्स इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो कौन फर्स्ट एशियन चेयर बन गए हैं ऑफ IUCN स्पीशीज सर्वाइवल कमीशन? सो IUCN स्पीशीज सर्वाइवल कमीशन के फर्स्ट चेयर हैज़ बिकम विवेक मेनन. सो बी इज द राइट आंसर, विवेक मेनन. Now which country? Okay, this we have already addressed, that World Conservation Congress took place in Abu Dhabi UAE. So Abu Dhabi UAE में ये कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है. Where was UNCTAD 16 held? So UNCTAD भी कॉन्फ्रेंस भी हुई है and it was held in Geneva, Switzerland. Now where are headquarters of UNCTAD? That you have to tell me. What is the theme of this meeting that took place? So the theme was shaping the future, driving economic transformation for equitable, inclusive and sustainable development. And who was elected president of this UNCTAD 16? So elected president was Guy Parmelin. Next question is that where was the Ocean Sky 2025 exercise held and what is significant about India's participation in this exercise? So this exercise that is with the name Ocean Sky, right? A very beautiful name, Ocean Sky 2025. This exercise was held in Spain. So Spain is the right answer. Gando Air Base, Canary Islands, Spain. But why it is significant? Why we are reading this? Because India has become first non-NATO country, to participate. So because India is first non-NATO country who is participating in this exercise, that is Ocean Spain, that has happened in Spain, it becomes important for us to read. Right. Now, where is first IIT campus in Nigeria planned? So it is planned in Suleja, Niger state. India जो है वो अपना IIT campus खोल रहा है नाइजीरिया में, in Suleja, Niger state. Where was IUCN? Again it's repeated, Abu Dhabi UAE. Who is the president of friendship group in Panama? So India ने भी friendship group join किया है पनामा के साथ. And who is the president of this friendship group? The president is George Bluis. So George Bluis is the president of friendship group in Panama. According to UNEP report, how many hectares of world's tropical forests are at risk of deforestation? So UNEP ने एक नई रिपोर्ट पब्लिश की है और उसके अकॉर्डिंग कितने हेक्टर्स है ट्रॉपिकल फॉरेस्ट के जो रिस्क ऑफ डिफॉरेस्टेशन में है? तो दैट इज 391 million hectares. Now, why is this important? Why? So you have to learn. Is this that you have to learn all these important news or any figure that comes कि कितना loss हो रहा है कितना नहीं? Not everything, but if it is released by important bodies such as UNEP, and also as recent as that, just 1 or 2 months before your exam, it becomes important for us to study. So UNEP ने बोला है कि approximately 391 वर्ल्ड के जो ट्रॉपिकल फॉरेस्ट है, दे आर एट हाई रिस्क ऑफ डिफॉरेस्टेशन. Who has been elected as co-chair of UNGGIM Asia Pacific Committee for 2025 to 28? So that is Hitesh Kumar S. Makhwana. Which country has topped the Mercer CPA Global Pension Index, and what was India's score? How many countries were evaluated? Let me just take you here. See, the index name is Mercer CPA Global Pension Index. Now here 52 countries were ranked, and India got rank of 52nd. यानी इंडिया की रैंक लास्ट आई है, राइट? सो यू हैव टू बी अवेयर ऑफ दीज things also, that Netherlands has scored the first rank in Mercer CPA Pension Index, but India got the last rank, that is 52nd, and India का score था 43.8. Which country topped WDMMA Air Force rankings? So that is USA. I'll tell you the full complete news. So what has happened, that Indian Air Force ने सरपास कर लिया है चाइना के PLAAF को, ताकि वो बन गया है थर्ड मोस्ट पावरफुल एयर फोर्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ ओवरऑल इफेक्टिवनेस एंड कैपेबिलिटी. सो नाउ दिस इज़ अ वेरी पॉजिटिव एंड अ गुड न्यूज़. यू शुड नो दैट इंडियन एयर फोर्स हैज़ नाउ बिकम थर्ड मोस्ट पावरफुल एयर फोर्स, एंड हमने चाइना को भी सरपास कर लिया. फर्स्ट वन इज़ USA एंड सेकेंड इज़ रशिया. नाउ थर्ड इज़ इंडिया, राइट? बट इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट द टोटल रैंकिंग, तो इंडिया 6th नंबर पे आता है. वाई इट इज़ सो? क्योंकि फर्स्ट रैंक है USA की एयरफोर्स की, सेकेंड रैंक है नेवी की. नाउ डोंट गेट कन्फ्यूज कि इसमें क्योंकि एयरफोर्स की रैंकिंग्स है तो हम नेवी को क्यों इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे नेवी को इंक्लूड किया गया है सो दैट हेयर वी आर काउंटिंग एयरक्राफ्ट नेवी वाले. सो उसमें भी USA की नेवी जो है वो सेकेंड रैंक ऑक्यूपाई करती है, यानी जितने हमारे पास एयरक्राफ्ट एयरफोर्स में नहीं है उससे ज़्यादा एयरक्राफ्ट USA की नेवी के पास है. इट जस्ट मीन्स दिस, राइट? सो डोंट गेट कन्फ्यूज कि नेवी क्यों लिखा है. इट स्टिल मीन्स कि एयरफोर्स की ही बात हो रही है. सो फर्स्ट रैंक इज USA एयरफोर्स, सेकेंड इज नेवी, थर्ड इज रशियन एयरफोर्स, फोर्थ इज USA आर्मी. सो USA एयरफोर्स, नेवी, आर्मी, वो तीनों में एयरक्राफ्ट बहुत ज़्यादा है. देन फिफ्थ इज USA मैराइन कॉर्प्स, एंड सिक्स्थ इज इंडियन एयरफोर्स. और हमने वैसे एयरफोर्स की बात करें तो हम थर्ड पे आ गए हैं, हमने चाइना को ओवरटेक कर लिया है. Next is, where was Japan India Maritime Exercise, that is JMEX, held? So it was held in Kyushu of Japan Island. Which country has largest forest area globally according to GFRA? So GFRA stands for Global Forest Resource Assessment 2025, that is released by FAO. FAO is Food Agriculture Organization. Now Food Agriculture Organization is an important organization, comes under UN. So the report becomes important for us to study, और इस assessment का नाम है Global Forest Resource Assessment, right? So इस resource assessment के according largest forest area किस country के पास है? The largest forest area is with Russia. So Russia is the right answer. But what is India's rank? India's rank is 9th. But in 2024, India's rank was 10th. But now the India's rank is improved. So it is now 9th rank. If we talk about top 5 countries, so that is Russia, Brazil, Canada, USA and China. If we talk about forest gain in India, so India ने काफ़ी forest gain किया है, ranks third globally in net annual forest gain. अगर हम सिर्फ forest gain की बात करें तो India then ranks third, but अगर हम overall बात करें then India ranks 9th. Next is, where was first India EU joint counter-terrorism training was conducted? So first India EU joint counter-terrorism training was conducted in Manesar, Gurugram, that comes in Haryana. Then what is the total size of NABARD's Agri-Shop Fund? So NABARD का जो Agri-Shop Fund है उसका total size is 750 crore, and which startup was the first investee under this fund? So first investee was Fambo Innovation Private Limited, and it is registered with CBS category 2 alternative investment fund. All these three facts are very very important for your exam point of view. Please remember that Fembo Innovation was the first investee, and it is of 750 crore rupees, and it is a category 2 AIF fund. Then who launched Flipkart Bharat Yatra card? So Flipkart Bharat Yatra card is launched by Flipkart plus Pine Labs. So B is the right answer. Please remember this. Then which RBI draft guidelines allows banks to finance corporate acquisitions? So first let me take you to the news, explain you, then come back to MCQs. So RBI ने कुछ ड्राफ्ट रूल्स में चेंजेस किए हैं. जो बैंक्स होते हैं वो लोन देते हैं कंपनी को, सो दैट companies can buy another companies. This was not allowed earlier in India. मतलब क्या होता था? These are draft rules that are made by RBI. So let me just explain you in layman terms. जैसे there is company 1, there is company 2. Now this company 1 wants to buy this company 2. तो इसको खरीदने के लिए if it is at rate of 100 crore rupees, राइट. सो ये कंपनी जो है वो बैंक से लोन नहीं ले सकती है इस पर्पस के लिए कि उसको ये कंपनी को खरीदना है. दीज वर अर्लियर रूल्स. अभी अमेंड हो गया है. अभी ड्राफ्ट रूल्स आरबीआई लेकर आया है, फिर अमेंड होगा, बट अभी रूल्स आए हैं. रूल्स ये है कि दे से नाउ दिस कंपनी कैन टेक लोन टू बाय दिस कंपनी, but there are certain conditions that needs to be fulfilled. After fulfilling those conditions you can take loan, but up to only at certain limit. So वो limit है 70%, यानी 70 करोड़ रुपीस का लोन you can take from bank to buy company 2, but you should give 30 crore from your pocket itself. What are other criterias? Other criterias are that only corporate companies are allowed, that is only listed companies are allowed for this. Yani NBFCs and alternative investment funds also cannot borrow. Please remember that alternative investment funds and NBFCs is not allowed under this category. Corporate companies are allowed. They are listed companies. They are allowed. Company must have had profit in last 3 years, and the target company must have 3 years of financial record at least. The acquirer and target cannot be related parties, यानी कि जो कंपनीज है वो फैमिली रिलेटेड या कनेक्टेड कंपनीज नहीं होनी चाहिए उस पर्पज़ के लिए. द शेयर्स ऑफ कंपनी बीइंग ब्रॉट विल बी एक्टिंग एज मेन सिक्योरिटी. बैंक पॉलिसी क्रिएट करेगा. डेट टू इक्विटी रेशियो आफ्टर एक्विजिशन शुड नॉट बी मोर देन 3:1. सो ऑल्सो दिस कंडीशन शुड बी फुलफिल्ड. बैंक कैन नॉट गिव मोर देन 10% ऑफ इट्स Tier 1 कैपिटल फॉर एक्विजिशन फाइनेंस. यानी जो बैंक्स या लोन दे रहे हैं वो वही बैंक्स लोन दे सकते हैं जो अगर 10% अपनी Tier 1 कैपिटल के जो लिमिट है उसको क्रॉस ना करे. ओवरऑल कैपिटल मार्केट एक्सपोजर फॉर बैंक्स कैन नॉट एक्सीड 40% ऑफ Tier 1 कैपिटल. जो ओवरऑल कैपिटल एक्सपोजर होगा वो 40% से ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. इफ़ ऑल दीज कंडीशंस आर मेट देन company can take loan from bank, but only at 70% rate. So draft guidelines आई है, that is draft RBI capital market exposure directions. and कितना बैंक फाइनेंस कर सकता है 70%, और कितना एक्वायरिंग कंपनी को कितना देना पड़ेगा मिनिमम इक्विटी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन एक्वायरिंग कंपनी को, दैट इज 30%. बाकी कंडीशंस आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू हियर. नाउ who is excluded from acquiring company? So NBFCs and alternative investment funds are excluded. Debt to equity ratio allowed is 3:1. Acquirer must have profit track record of 3 years. Please also remember all these points. Now next questions are that from when will the use of UTI be made mandatory for all OTC derivative transactions in India? What does a UTI consist of and how long a UTI can be? So what is the news? The news is that the over the counter derivative transactions होते हैं. Now if you don't know what are over the top counter derivative transactions, I'll explain you in the later class someday in detail. but अभी आप बस इतना ही समझ लीजिए that OTC derivative transactions are there जो ट्रेड नहीं होते हैं बल्कि डायरेक्टली नेगोशिएट होते हैं बिटवीन 2 parties, राइट. और ये जो डील्स होती है वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टर्म्स पे होती है, और बट हायर क्रेडिट रिस्क होता है एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. बट यू कैन जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड कि ओवर द काउंटर मतलब काउंटर के ऊपर, मतलब दे आर नॉट ट्रेडेड, राइट. तो आरबीआई चाहता है कि दैट ऑल द ओवर काउंटर डेरिवेटिव ट्रांजेक्शंस उनकी एक यूनिक ट्रांजेक्शन आइडेंटिफायर आईडी हो from 1st of April 2026, right. Now what will be this unique transaction identifier? This will be a globally recognizable code for each derivative trade. It can up to be 52 characters long. Now, this would be a code for each derivative trade that would be recognized globally, and it could be 52 characters long. It would apply to all OTC derivative markets, including rupee interest rate derivatives, foreign currency derivatives, etc. Right. Now, how will it be generated? It would be generated like it would be a waterfall mechanism that would determine which party generates the UTI. Now, there is also another term that is LEI, that is legal entity identifier. Now this is a 20 character code that is assigned to companies, और इंडिया ने ये ऑलरेडी इम्प्लीमेंट कर लिया है, बट RBI इज नाउ एक्सप्रेसिंग व्यूज कि हमको कोड लाना चाहिए ऑल्सो फॉर ओवर द काउंटर डेरिवेटिव ट्रांजेक्शन्स, एंड उनको एक यूनिक ट्रांजेक्शन आइडेंटिफायर भी देना चाहिए दैट कुड बी अप टू 52 कैरेक्टर्स लॉन्ग, बट वी ऑलरेडी हैव लीगल एंटिटी आइडेंटिफायर. Now, this would be made mandatory from 1st of April 2026. It consists of legal entity identifier plus unique transaction string, and it could be up to 52 characters long. Which company signed MOU for Greenfield Refinery in Andhra Pradesh? So Andhra Pradesh की Greenfield Refinery के लिए MOU sign हुआ है between BPCL and OIL. So also please remember this. Then which organization approved $460 million loan for agriculture solarization in Maharashtra? So it is very important. Please remember that ADB has approved loan of $460 million for agriculture solarization in Maharashtra. Then which digital wallet has partnered with OpenAI to enable in-chat payment in ChatGPT? So OpenAI के साथ partnership किए है PayPal ने. So please remember that PayPal has partnered with OpenAI. Which company has enabled UPI payments for NRIs using international mobile numbers? So UPI payments को enable किया है NRIs के लिए कि वो international mobile numbers use करके भी UPI payment कर सकते हैं. That is the initiative by Paytm. So Paytm is the right answer. Under LEF, what is the maximum exposure of a bank to a single borrower? So LEF stands for what? LEF is large exposure frameworks. तो यानी कि वी वांट कि एक ही इंसान को या एक ही कंपनी को या एक ही ग्रुप को बहुत ज़्यादा बैंक्स ना लोन दे दे, सो दैट दे आर नॉट एट वनरेबल स्टेज. सो दैट इज़ लार्ज एक्सपोजर फ्रेमवर्क. नाउ लार्ज एक्सपोजर फ्रेमवर्क का अगर सिंगल बोरोअर है तो लिमिट इज़ 20%, एंड इफ इट इज़ अ कॉर्पोरेट ग्रुप दैट मैक्सिमम 20% ऑफ Tier 1 capital can be given. Right, so here it is asking this only, that under large exposure framework maximum exposure to a single borrower is 20% and to a corporate group is 25%. अभी बैंक ने RBI ने विड्रॉ कर लिया अपना सर्कुलर, जो कि ये बैंक्स को रेस्ट्रिक्ट करता था कि एक बियॉन्ड एक सर्टेन लिमिट तक वो लैंड नहीं कर सकते, बट नाउ दिस फ्रेमवर्क कंटिन्यूज 20% एंड 25%. Now, which organization has launched Smart Crop? This we already studied. Smart Crop was launched by SBI Foundation and it is in partnership with US, Raichur, ICRISAT and AgriBridge. This we missed, so please write it here, there. ये आपको PDF मिल जाएगी. It is a partnership of US, Raichur, ICRISAT and AgriBridge. Now, which states are covered under this project? That is Karnataka and Telangana. Approximately how many farmers are targeted? So 8,000 farmers are targeted. And what technologies are to be leveraged in this project? So that is satellite imaging, remote sensing and AI or machine learning analytics. Then which two banks are leading the establishment of Indian Digital Payment Intelligence Corporation? So Indian Digital Payment Intelligence Corporation के establishment को lead कर रहे हैं दो banks, that is SBI and Bank of Baroda. So please remember this. And under which section is this registered? It is registered under section 8. What is the authorized capital and what is the paid up capital? So authorized capital है of IDPIC, that is Indian Digital Payment Intelligence Corporation की authorized capital है 500 crore rupees and paid up capital is 200 crore rupees. Which bank has launched new digital payment solution at Global FinTech Fest? इन आर प्रीवियस क्लासेस हमने कवर किया था अक्टूबर की ग्लोबल फिनटेक फेस्ट इन वेरी मच डिटेल, एंड वहाँ पर भी वी ऑल्सो डिस्कस कि कौन से बैंक ने न्यू डिजिटल पेमेंट सॉल्यूशन लॉन्च किए हैं. सो इट इज़ सिटी यूनियन बैंक. विच स्टेट रिसीव 280 million लोन फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड बैंक अंडर KHSIP? आई एम रियली सॉरी फॉर माई बैड थ्रोट एवरी डे. I'm really sorry for that. बट 280 मिलियन लोन का जो लोन है दैट्स अप्रूव्ड फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड बैंक टू केरला. अभी रिसेंटली वी ऑल्सो स्टडीड महाराष्ट्र के सोलराइजेशन प्रोजेक्ट के लिए 460 यूएस मिलियन डॉलर का लोन इज अप्रूव्ड. राइट, सो प्लीज रिमेंबर ऑल दोज थिंग्स. इट वॉज अप्रूव्ड बाय एडीबी एंड हेयर इट इज अप्रूव्ड बाय वर्ल्ड बैंक. Which state received this loan? That is Kerala. We already discussed this. What is the theme of RBI Harbinger 2025 Global Hackathon? So RBI का Harbinger 2025 Global Hackathon is being was conducted, and the theme was secure banking powered by identity, integrity and inclusivity. So आपको theme याद रखना है, because theme is very very important if we talk about initiatives like these. And which entity conceptualized this Harbinger? It was RBI Innovation Hub, that is Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. And the theme is very important. Please remember the theme, that is secure banking powered by identity, integrity and inclusivity. So that's it for the day. I hope October is well covered. हमने October week 1, week 2, week 3 and week 4 से अच्छे से पूरा October cover किया है. We also studied sports news. We also read about awards, appointments. Then we also completed state news, in some international news, banking, finance, of course, and national events, economy news. Everything is covered from October part. I'll share you the combined PDF in the Telegram channel soon. Please like, share and comment. Please keep studying, keep watching, and thank you for watching.